All right, you guys, we got another live stream video. You guys, please share, hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Now, we want to talk about the disaster, and we'll make you know how terrible is the disaster. Now, Trump says, I run the country and the world. Such arrogant. See, this is an arrogant guy, but God allowed this man to be president of the United States of America. And during the first 100 days, there have not been any negotiations done. Let's look at the tariff wars, the trades. It's like China ain't bluffing. China's like, yeah, you know what I mean? We can just go on and change the whole food chain. You know, we don't need America for anything. America need to buy some of our stocks. We're losing out trillions of dollars. So, Trump first 100 days in office. When we look at the polls, we see 55% disapprove and 49% approve. This got a lot of Americans angry because now we want to ask ourselves, what had Trump done in the first 100 days while in office? Now, the disaster, and I want to let you know how terrible is the disaster. The title in the chapter is taken from this Holy Quran, Surah 101, 1 through 4. The disaster. What is the disaster? And we'll make you know how terrible things will be. In the English language, according to the Resper dictionary, the word disaster means a state of deep distress, misery caused by major misfortune, a loss, or a great event marked by a great loss, lasting distress, and affliction. Such disaster is now prevailing in America. We see it's getting worse daily. The third verse of this chapter of the Holy Quran, Surah 101, verse 3, asks a question. It will make you know how terrible is the disaster. The answer is given in the fourth verse. The day wherein man will be as scattered as moths. We do not have to ask anyone whether or not this one of the Holy Quran is now being fulfilled. We see the fulfillment of these prophecies with our eyes and hear with our ears these great disasters that are now striking America. We see the great division, the great disagreement, disunity, and murder of mans. We see the great amount of raping and murdering of girls and women. There's great robbery and thieves going on every hour of the day and night. There are great storms and adverse weather conditions. There are minor earth tremors and hailstorms. There are signs and wonders of signs being displayed in the heavens and earth, on the seas and lands. There's unusual behavior of children. There's unusual love or dislike of children by mothers and fathers in the destruction of the process of childbirth. There's the great starvation and great destruction of health and life by the use and administering of poison drugs, which is practiced upon those who are free and those who are bound. What had been known as America is threatened today with total destruction. America is destroying herself in her effort to destroy her black slave. The water and air of America are being polluted by chemical use. You see, America scientists of war conducts dreadful experiments on how best to kill human beings by the millions and wipe out the whole lives of continents. These are the days of fulfillment of prophecy of not one, but of many disasters. But in all of these preparation of destruction of human life by the devil, we see Allah God too has planned to save his people. Allah God has claimed over the black slave as being his people. And we see the white slaveholder is angry because of the loss of the black slave by the virtue of this claim. Allah God comes to take this black slave away from the enemy white slaveholders and join the black slave to his own kind again. The enemy white slaveholders hate this, but Allah God has the power to force the enemy white slaveholders to submit to his will. It is the will of Allah God that the enemy slaveholders let these black slaves go free. Allah God promised concerning these white slaveholders and the black slave. And Isaiah 43 verse 6, I will say to the north, give up, and to the south, keep not back. Bring my son from afar and my daughter from the end of the earth. America, let our people go. Since Allah God has now claimed the black slave, giving them the truth. Allah God has called the black slave who accepted the truth by his name. The black slave who accept the truth of his greatness and being one of the righteous nation of his kind belongs to Allah God. The book must be fulfilled, wherein it prophesies that he will claim them to be his own elect at such time as the destruction of America. If Allah God has not chosen some of the people of America, the black slave, to be his people, there would not have been any flesh saved from America. You see, the Bible, Mark 13 and 20, teach us, and except that the Lord has short the days, no flesh will be saved. But for the elect's sake, whom he has chosen. He has shortened the days. The black slave must know that this is the time of the judgment of both the white slaveholders and the black slave. The black slave must learn to know his place in the judgment. The place of the black slave is with Allah, God, and his own black people. The black slave had been deprived of knowledge of his God and his own black people. Allah, God, has come and has brought the black slave the truth. If the black slave refused to accept the truth, he would be destroyed for willingly and knowingly rejecting the truth when the truth have come in its millers. Disaster, disaster in the country of America. No secret can remain hidden, for the chastisement of Allah God will not let you hide it. As one writer prophesies, in the Bible we see Isaiah 18 verse 1, whom to a land shadow it rings. This prophesy is referring to America, which have a cloud of planes showering the skies over America daily. Can America exist? The coming of this white man into the Western hemisphere was for the purpose of expansion away from his brethren in Europe. We see Europe was divinely given to the right race as a home when it was driven out of Arabia 6,000 years ago to abide there on that continent until the days of reckoning comes to them. These are the days of reckoning for the right race. As the religious scholars and scientists agree, but because of their nature, evil, they cannot help doing evil things against the righteous. They make war against the righteous, the black man, to prevent him from accepting righteousness and the doing of righteousness. For 400 years, the slave master had mistreated the slave, and now in the days of their redemption, they are doing everything possible to deceive them from accepting their starvation. That Allah now offers the black man in America. So strong is God's love for us that he now desires nothing but a total destruction of America. They hate me with a bloody hatred, and they tried to kill me for teaching the truth to my people. They do not want this black man of America to enjoy freedom, justice, and equality. Look what they did to Reverend Martin King, a man who was trying to be their brother, a man who publicly taught that he did not want to draw the white man's blood. He said if there was any blood to be spilled, that it be the black man's blood. His words came true. Poor man. He was without the knowledge of self, his God, and religion. And so with fear of his 400-year-old enemy, that he could never get starvation from his people, from the enemies. America had been blessed ever since the fathers came across the Atlantic, out of the confines of Europe, until this day. Now for the evil done to a slave, God threatened her with total destruction. America and Germany are the most evil of the right race. These two governments have been blessed, but they have not shown any worthwhile respect to Allah for his blessing. Allah called people out of all nations of the earth to come to America. They came seeking heaven and earth, but those who came was evil too. As the Revelation language teaches us. See Revelation 18 verse 2. And he cried mightily with a strong voice, saying, Babylon, America the Great, is fallen, is fallen, it's become the habitation of devils, and a hole every foul spirit, and a cage of every unclean and hateful bird. There is no people nor country on the earth will feel this prophecy better than America and her people. She had become a house filled with evil practice, with every member of the nation taking part. Yet she had been blessed with a great harvest of food, which is enough to feed the nations of the earth, and with her great advancements into the heights of her mechanical knowledge, and with her great wealth in silver and gold, that enabled her once upon a time to command the value of silver or gold of the world. But as it is written in all of this growing up of wealth and power, the act of justice was laid at the root of this great tree of prosperity and authority of the nations of the earth, to be used by the Holy One to put a stop to their evil practices and injustice to the righteous. America has prospered from the labors of a black slave. She pays this black man a high wages and salary, and then take them back from him to the high cost of living. See, this high cost of living of trying to live according to the way the white man lives keeps this black man down. And when he has acquired the education of the white man, is unable to compete with the white man and become dissatisfied to the degree of creating trouble to find a way to self prosperity against the will of the white man, which is to keep the black man in the condition of property want and disregard as equal human beings. Yet while this white man teaches that all human beings are created accordingly, at the same time he robs this black man of a chance to be the equal of the human beings. Can America exist with all of her wicked doing against this black man America in a state of inequality with other human beings? The continued existence of America in a way of governments and people other than her own depends on the way she will continue to treat her one slave. So we see the continued existence of America in a way of her governments and power over people, and that she will continue to treat her one slave, this black man of America, due to the prophecy of the Bible we see from Moses to Jesus, and even from Muhammad. See, the prophets saying these prophets teach us that a coming showdown between the God and the slaveholders of his people, black America, must come to pass. See, the time has arrived this prophecy of a defender coming to defend the prey, so-called Negro, who is held in bondage by the white slaveholders, who have and are still mistreating the prey to the extent that the world is in sympathy with the prey for justice. Now it is prophesied that a just ruler will come, and he have come to set up a rule or a kingdom under laws of justice, where people who have lived under laws of unjust by unjust rulers. This must be fulfilled. If the next government for the people, university is going to be under such a glorious rule of freedom, justice, and equality. It is natural that the old ruler will oppose a new ruler coming to remove him and his authority to rule the people. He will fight to keep his place and authorities over the people. This is why Allah threatened his opponents with the final declaration of war that will end the opponent opposition to his laws of righteousness, and had been writing for many years of the coming doom of the world of Christianity, mainly America, who is the root and cause of this present judgment of America. See, the judgment of America is due to the way that she has treated the so-called Negro, the black people of America for 400 years. The very hour in which I'm writing, America is still mistreating her one slave with the worst kind of treatment ever according to human beings. America practiced the way of her father's mistreatment an American so-called Negro under what she called a law of freedom. But this freedom is only words, not in practice. The slave master children's blood, heart, and way of thinking towards the one slave, same as their fathers. They find it so free to beat and kill the one slave, the so-called Negro, at will, that they will continue to practice a mistreating and murdering the slave day and night, because there is no law of justice for the black man of America, who is the property of their fathers, of American white citizens. America never think in terms of being equally punished for the wrong done for the so-called Negro. The Bible parable of Balaam riding a donkey must be remembered. When the angels went to settle the unjust mistreatment of the donkey by Balaam, the angel found Balaam beaten and forcing a donkey to carry him right in the presence of the visiting angel who was carrying a sword to bring about justice between the two. It is almost impossible to say that America can exist. If America is to exist, America will empower. It will make prophets of the Bible and even the Holy Quran prophecy other than the truth. It is impossible to make them out liars who wrote the doom of the race that will come at a certain time. And that certain time is now known. The time can be prolonged if the Messiah that the world had been looking for to come for 2,000 years desire, for he does what he please. This does not mean that he will change the idea of the doom and destruction of America. But if he pleased, he could have extended her time. And she had done almost a marvelous thing, like submitting to the righteous, taught and delivered to a mentally dead slave, the so-called Negro. This is the way America could exist, by bowing submission to the will of God taught by his messengers. The time that we are now living in is a time of the anger of God against the evil doers. It is a time that the God of righteousness rejoices to repay the evildoers for their doing and to reward the righteous for their righteousness. Therefore, to curb this set day of doom demand for the doing of righteousness, which by nature was not put in the right race of people, but they may yet be smart enough to bow, but put a stay to their execution for a few days longer, not by intermixing with a slave to enjoy as long as they are blind, deaf, and dumb, and do not understand. This act only hastens their doom, while the foolish, blind, deaf, dumb, so-called Negro does not even know that he is being blind, deaf, and dumb to his slaughter. There is no such thing that the evil will rule peace. Also, the wicked, according to the prophet, Jeremiah and Isaiah, are the ones who have destroyed the peace from amongst men. My advice to this white man is to make haste. Get in a hurry if you want to live. Bow and submit to that great truth and righteousness, the will of Allah. What will be the end of the war? Many of you may think if America ends her war in Asia, this will bring peace and prosperity to the people of America. Perhaps someday there may be a lube and a war, but not now. If America and Asia can find a way to bring about an agreement of the war between each other. See, my brothers and sisters, this does not mean that peace and prosperity is assured. Not at this time. Remember, there's still this Cold War between America and Russia and other parts of Europe to be reckoned with. We see Europe will become a dreaded spot when America leave Asia. It is true, as the prophet has predicted, that America must come out of Asia or be thrown out. Now, check this out. East Asia ain't going to want to have nothing to do with her because she's going to be standing far. See, she's going to have to concentrate on that continent of Europe or concentrate on her death instead of her life. You see, Europe is going to be reckoned with. So my question is, who she going to flee to? If Asia going to stand far, because it's going to be sooner or later, Asia ain't going to want to have nothing to do with you. So we see each now, America and Russia, the two most powerful war factors of this world, is seeking to maintain their rule over the nation of Earth and even to conquer outer space. This will not last long, and a travel investigation to space allow God to permit them to peep into his great unequal creation of power and might, the heaven and earth. The Holy Quran teaches that when Allah God gets ready to destroy people, he opens the door of heaven to them. See, he gives them a peep to his great wisdom and secret. But this does not mean that this add power to the enemy to be able to war against the Creator. The reason for all of this is due to the fact that Allah God is setting up a kingdom of righteousness, freedom, justice, and equality. Black brothers, do not look for high-paying jobs, drawing a big roll of money after the war, unless it's with the help of Allah, God. You prepare this for yourself, which I advise you to do. The most dreadful divine judgment that have ever been witnessed it by man are now coming on America. America is the divine target because she could have better herself. Divine eyes of Allah God came in the person of Master Fala Muhammad, to whom praise are due forever. But America did not and will not better herself, as it is written and prophesied concerning ancient Babylon and Egypt. We will have healed Babylon, but she is not healed. We see Jeremiah 51 verse 9, because she was not willing to do justice by her captive Jews from Jerusalem. So it was with Pharaoh when God, Jehovah, went after Egypt. The Bible, Exodus, Pharaoh refused to give justice to Israel and made war against Allah and Jehovah and his prophet Moses to prevent Israel from going free of Pharaoh's enslavement of them. The war, America cannot win the victory. It is impossible for America to be the victors in this universal war because of the divine intervention against her. Although she have enough deadly materials manufactured to try to win, can she win against Allah, God? She boasts of her materials and being able to destroy the people of Earth 30 times. If she was left free to use the materials, maybe America could win. But the divine die was set before her, long before she ever became America. She can try and boast of her idea of mine, deceive her black slave, but she would deceive herself and them. America is made manifest by Almighty God, and the person of Master Fly Muhammad, to whom praise are due forever, that she is a total, deadly enemy against her one slave. For many years, I had written that America's greatest sin is the evil done to her black slave. Allah God tends to repay her what she has done. You see the black slave right at the point of total destruction. She tries to rule the so-called Nguyen with false and temporary promises to offer him high political jobs to keep him from turning his attention to self and kind. See, black politicians could and should use his political knowledge to benefit self and kind. White America isolating the messenger of God from their mind with these false promises and make them to hate the messenger of God and to work against him, although the messenger of God is working for the interests of the black slaves. The eyes and ears of Allah God are open, looking and listening to the actions. It is not necessary for Allah God to use mechanical devices. Allah God is physically will, and he has will, physical eyes, and ears. He's sharper than any double-edged sword. He's capable of seeing and hearing everything we do and say. He has power to defeat us in our plans, which are against his plans. The American slaveholders want to deceive the so-called nigger into believing that Allah God is not paying attention to them. The white man wants them to believe that he is the God that they should pay attention to. I warn my people who believe an idea that the white man is the God that they should pay attention to. You will come up the losers. Allah, God is backing me up in the work he has given me to do. The work he has given me to do is for your own black starvation. If you think that you have starvation with this white man, then just go ahead with him. I'm not here to force you against your own will, but I want you to know that if you are looking to white America for your starvation, you are headed with them to your and their destruction. There is no hope for white America to win the war. There is no hope for the black man and the future of white America. For white America has no future for itself. She will not be able to win the war. Now listen to me. White America doesn't have a departure for itself. So what makes you think she'll have a future for you? If these people will have to pack up at some point. And you see if you're going to be reckoned with, because they're going to eventually have to concentrate on that continent, or else concentrate on their death instead of their life. See, they can no longer rule the black people of America. I'm going to tell y'all something. East Asia is going to stand far. She ain't got nothing to do with her. And I doubt if she can come back to East Asia and be welcome again. Europe is going to be a place where it's going to be reckoned with. They're already dealing with the whole UK and the UK, Spain and Portugal is dealing with blackouts. All behind these dumb scientists in the UK want to darken out the sun. The people over there need sun. They need the natural lights. They need the vitamin D. And they were talking about blocking out the sun. It's going to cause a lot of chaos. Why are they trying to destroy humanity? Why? You want to block out the sun when some people need the sun? You want to try a way to slow down global warming? These people think that they have power of the earth, the land, the sea, the air. But now God is coming, taking back what belongs to him. Because never no more will you subdue it. Never no more will these non-owners subdue the land. Because the earth is the Lord and the fullness of it. And if he don't like you govern this earth, and I'm going to say it once again, he's going to move you off the earth as he's doing today. So you eventually will be reckoned with. And see, brothers and sisters, the scholars and scientists would tell us that America cannot win in these days and time. And we know by divine prophecy that America cannot win. Now, if it was just Russia, China, Vietnam, and Korea using their judgment on how best to destroy each other, maybe America could win. For she have as much as they have in war materials and scientific preparation. America is capable of going out of the atmosphere of the earth and to fight them from there. But she will not be able to go out of the atmosphere of the earth to destroy the black man. It is only mistake that one should believe in America's ability to build a way station in the air on the moon, for she will not be able to use it against us, for divine plans is set to destroy her. We have many things out there in space that could be brought into action against America or in any other nation today, for Allah is the greatest. The mother planes. Now, the mother planes was made to destroy this world of evil and to show the wisdom and mighty powers of the God who came to destroy an old world and set up a new world. See, the nature of a new world is righteousness. See, the nature of a new world cannot be righteousness as long as unrighteousness is in its midst. Same type of plane was used by the original God to put mountains on this planet. Allah God, who came in the person of Master Fala Muhammad, to whom praise are due forever, is rises to any God before him, as the Bible, Holy Quran teach us. He taught me that this plane will be used to raise mountains on this planet Earth. The mountains that he will put on this earth will not be very high. He will raise these mountains to a height of 1 mile over the United States of America. This reminds us of the prophet prediction at this time of destruction of the old world and the bringing in of a new world. Behold, the Lord makes the earth empty and makes it waste and turn it upside down and scatter abroad the inhabitants thereof. Isaiah 24, verse 1. There are plains of various nations today, but this is the mother of them all. Why? Because this type of plane was used before the making of this world. Why should God make such a sign of his power to destroy a nation? Because this is the final destruction of that people who have opposed God and his purpose and aim for justice and righteousness. The right race is not a people who was made righteous and then turned to unrighteousness. It was made unrighteous by the false God who made them. Allah God, who came in the person of Master Fala Muhammad, to whom praise are due forever, taught me that this plane is capable of reaching the height of 40 miles above the earth. His words could have been a sign meaning 40 years in which the plane would go into action, and that referring actually to 40 miles. Allah God does not speak one word that does not have a meaning. His words that he speaks has a meaning. The mother plane, according to what has been described by the devil scientists, is capable of not only staying up for a long period of time, but is also capable of alluring the scientists. They want to attack and destroy it. If the plane did get close enough to attempt to carry out this purpose, it will be destroyed instead. The white men have learned that this is not a plane to be played with. Planes come out of the mother planes. In the 1930s, the Canadians newspapers reported that they saw the mother plane. It came down out of the sky. They admitted that it looks like a great city, and that something came down from it and appears to be a tube. But that tube-like thing went back up again. Allah God, who came in the person of Master Fala Muhammad, to whom praise are due forever, taught me that after 6 months to a year, the mother plane comes into gravity of the earth. It takes on oxygen and hydrogen in order to prevent it to stay out of the earth's gravity until it needs refueling again. Ezekiel saw the mother plane in a vision. According to the Bible, he looked up and saw this plane, Ezekiel 1:16, and he called it a wheel because it was made like a wheel, a plane that is wheel shaped can turn in any direction at any time. He admitted that the plane was so high that it looks dreadful, and he cried out, "O wheel." You see Ezekiel chapter 10, verse 13. Ezekiel saw great works going on in the wheel, and 4 living creatures. And the work was as it were a wheel in the middle of a wheel. When the living creatures went, we see the wheel went with them. And when the living creatures was lifted up from the earth, the wheel was lifted up. The power of the lifting up of the 4 creatures was in the wheel. The 4 creatures represent the 4 colors of the original people of this earth. There are 5 great powers of the nation of the earth. These 5 great powers are the black, brown, yellow, red, and white of the 4 original powers. The red is not an equal power. The vision shows the 4 creatures being lifted up from the earth. And when the wheel was lifted up, they was lifted up. And when the wheel stood, they stood. This means that they rated upon the movement of the wheel. In Ezekiel's vision concerning the wheel, he says that he heard the voice of one tell the others to take coals of fire and to scatter it over the cities. This means bombs. It can mean fire too, however. The plan is to drop bombs which will automatically be timed to burrow quickly to a position of 1 mile below the surface of the earth, where they are timed to explore. Allah God taught me that these bombs are not to be dropped into the water. They are to be dropped it only on the cities. It will be the work of the will. The will is the power of the 4 creatures, namely the 4 colors of the black man, black, brown, yellow, and red. The red Indians is a benefit also for the judgment of the world. We must remember that God comes to separate from the righteous that which is hindering the righteous from making progress, and to destroy the effect of the poison of that which has poisoned the righteous. The effect of the poison will be fully destroyed at the destruction of the source of the poison which has poisoned the righteous. It's like one being bitten by a rattlesnake. Quickly, medication is administered in order to minimize the effect of the poison upon flesh and blood until a complete cure is effected and the patient is well again. It is useless to try to ignore Ezekiel's vision of the will for the make and the destructive works of the will was foretold before it came to pass. The disbelievers believe that which he see present, and not that which is prophesied to come. That is why he is the losers and take the course to hell, because he disbelieved in that which is prophesied to come about in a particular day. This is what the enemy is trying to do today with the black man. He's fascinating him with sport and play, and they're doing the evil to keep him from going to the God who is present. You never thought the day would come when you see your wife, mother, an old grave-headed woman walking down the streets today half nude. A few years ago, they would not have dared to come out into the public like that. But now they do so because the devil has put his approval on this kind of entire desire to please the devil. They do whatever the devil bid them to do. The devil desired to take this black man with him to his doom. Let us not classify the prophet as liars and ignore their prophecy, for we may cause our self-destruction through belief in the devil instead of the belief in the God of righteousness. There is no equal of the mother plane. This is the reason why she is called the mother plane. The mother plane is made for the purpose of destroying the present world. She has no equal. Do not be surprised at the make of this plane, since it is from the God who made the universe of floating planet, stars, which are supported only by the power of Allah and their rotations and their orbits. Allah God, who came in the person of Master Fard Muhammad, to whom praise are due forever, taught me that the mother plane is a little human-made planet. It's not simple for Allah God to make a new planet if he wants to. See, the mother plane is capable of staying out of the Earth's gravity for a whole year. She is capable of producing her own oxygen and hydrogen as any planet is able to do. The mother plane carrying the same type of bombs on her that our black scientists dropped on the planet Earth to bring up mountains out of the Earth after the planet Earth was created. See, the knowledge how to do this have not been given to the world, right race, nor will they ever get this kind of knowledge. See, the knowledge of the world is limited. If the devil will get this kind of knowledge, we could just say that we are goers. However, they are never able to attain this kind of knowledge. What does a 6-day-old baby right race look like? Trying to complete with a 6-year-old child, black nation. For the 6-year-old child can run all out in the yard and play. He eats solid food. The power of the 6-day-old baby is limited. The knowledge and power of this world, life, white race is limited. We see the world of this white man was made from what he found and what he has seen and learned from the work of the original black man. The white race is far from being able to equal the power and wisdom of the original black man. The mother plane and the works to display of the power of the mighty God, Master Fard Muhammad, to whom praise are due forever. Master Fard Muhammad, to whom praise are due forever, is the wisest and best knower. He is the mightiest of them all. O Will, said the prophet Ezekiel, she was so high up in the sky that she looks dreadful. She is capable of staying away from you, who plans the destruction of her. She is capable of confusing you, who will try to reach her with your means of destruction. There are scientists on the mother plane who knows what you are thinking about. before the thought materialized. Holy Quran, Surah 50, verse 16. Therefore, it is impossible to try to attack the mother plane. She can attack you, but you cannot attack her. The mother plane can hide behind other stars and make herself invisible to the eyes because she does not have to wait on a power from Earth. She can produce her own powers to go wherever she desires, to go in space. See, the mother plane is not like your little bullets or cameras, which are powered by your limited power. The Bible prophesies that today, our God wished to make known to us that He is God. He wished to be respected as the superior God. And He wished all life in the universe to know that He is the greatest. The Muslim recognized Allah God to be the greatest. He always repeat, "You are the greatest. There is no God like unto you. None deserves to be served or worshipped besides you. Almighty will, I repeat that there is plenty to make of the mother plane. There is much to the course operation of her work. The space here in this book is limited, but what Allah God taught me concerning the mother plane can be put into book form. O will, make to rock the earth and to heap up mountains upon earth. Or will destroy a nation. We see no wonder the prophet Isaiah prophesied that the earth shall read to and fro like a drunk. Or to seek refuge in Allah God from the destructive works to come from this mother of plains.